We're live.
Oh,
Sweet.
Live.
Say hi. Anyway, this is
Hello, Twitch and YouTube.
this is BSnBanter, second
Alright.
biggest, second best live podcast in the world.
Great.
I'm Tyler. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm James. I play bass for Flamingos in the Tree.
Hi, I'm Jarvis. I'm the drummer.
Daniel, guitar and vocals.
I'm Spencer. I play keys and guitar.
We're all Flamingos in the Tree is our band.
Hell yeah. So you guys were telling me earlier you've been a band for like 4 years now?
That's right.
Yeah, the original idea of it started 4 years ago. Kind of with me and Dan. We met in the dorms, and then we met Jarvis, and then recently, this last year, when we really started trying hard, we met James, and we kind of picked it up from there and really started giving a real effort.
Oh yeah. So you guys met in the dorms at which college were you guys at?
University of Nevada, Reno. UNR.
Yeah. Awesome. You guys are based out of there right now. You're on a pretty big tour or small tour?
Yeah, so we're actually on the tail end of our first tour. So we're touring our album. It's called Sunsets That I Had With You. And yeah, so this was our third to last show. So yeah, we've been all over the place. We started June 15th.
It's about a month long.
Yeah, so about a month-long tour. We went to Salt Lake, Logan, then down to Vegas, a couple days in Arizona, to like Phoenix, Tucson, and then we've been coming up the California coast. So
That's crazy. Yeah, you guys are your next stop, Santa Cruz.
We're hitting
Berkeley.
Berkeley. Ah.
Berkeley's
Wow, yeah.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Alright.
Santa Cruz was right before.
All right, so Berkeley's tomorrow, and then you're finishing up in Reno.
Yeah.
I think I saw.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome. What's the biggest venue you guys have done so far on this tour?
Biggest, I don't know.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot of we're a smaller group, so we've been playing a lot of DIY venues. One of my favorites so far has been Y Sound in Logan. There was really cool scene. It's like a recording studio venue combo, like they have a recording studio upstairs, but they have a really cool scene there, and we really like the groups that we played with. They're really cool.
Awesome. I think like one of the coolest parts, at least from the outside perspective, is you guys get to hear a lot of new music on the tour and like meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah, we've met like a bunch of great bands. Tonight we played with Trestles, who we were big fans of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, and then in Logan we met the guys behind Blue Rain Boots, which is like one of our favorite bands.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
We got
They-
like pizza with them, and that was
yeah,
crazy.
they invited us to
Yeah.
pizza after, and we were like, no way.
Yeah, so met a lot of really cool people.
Hell yeah. Is it like difficult to set up a tour? Like, was it just like, oh, let's go, and then you guys figured it out as you went?
So before I tried setting up a tour like completely on our own, and it was also a little bit more COVID-y still,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of things fell through, and it was like I just didn't want to deal with all that. So we ended up getting a booking manager to like deal with most of the setup of the tour, and he knows what he's doing. So for him, he just planned
Yeah, we
everything
didn't have
like
to do it.
6 months in advance. We were like getting the ball rolling, and we knew that we would be like doing this. But as soon as we knew we wanted a tour, we just kind of said like, "Hey, can you do this for us?" And he did it. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Even then, just being the size of like that we are, we've had some venues drop, and obviously like tonight was a really big like DIY thing. So
Oh yeah.
it's not like a crazy professional tour, but it's a tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of.
That's how the indie scene is right now.
Just trying to get history in every city, so we get to say we played there,
Yeah.
at least, at the bare minimum. So.
You guys were jamming. Like, I like how you guys were like calling the crowd in, and then that last song, I think everyone was standing up for and like really dancing, which is really cool.
Yeah,
That's what we try to do. We try to get people moving. That's our goal at every show. Is we want to see people dance.
Yeah.
Because too many times there's just people standing in the back.
Mhm.
Yeah, even if
Yeah.
they really like the music, if they're not dancing, it's really hard for us to feel the energy,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if they're engaged.
the audience is like a huge part of the performance, like every time, So when there's a good audience, like I feel like we even play better.
Yeah.
Even if it's like
That's definitely true.
we just have the vibes. Everyone's like vibing with each other, and it just feels really good.
Yeah, we've had some shows that are like not even that tight, but the crowd was into it, and we were like stoked.
That was a
so-
great show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we messed up every song, but they loved it.
There was
People tend to hang on to like the energy of the room more than like the notes you played anyway. So it's
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah, there was one song when we were at Y Sound in Logan where the lead vocal mic wasn't even on for like half the song, but everyone was like clapping like on the beat, and we were all dancing, and it was just like yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just a good time because they were like engaged with us, and we were like able to make it work even without a mic on.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
fun.
That's awesome. So let's see. I think we just go down the line. I want to know like how long you guys have been like playing music, and, like a little bit more about like have you guys always known you wanted to be in a band? Like you know.
So I guess my background, I played. My mom just was like, okay, you need to pick an instrument to play in the middle school band. And at first I was playing trumpet, and then we had no trombones. I played trombone. Played that through high school. Decided I want to not play trombone. I played a little bit of keys, and then when COVID happened, and I hit my head really hard on my bike too, like at the same time.
Shit.
And I just like couldn't do anything athletic, so I'm like, I'm gonna learn guitar, and then that's kind of like where it started with the whole like indie stuff, because I was like, oh, I can play that, you know, and it was a lot more accessible than like trying to shred or something, and that's kind of my background so far is like most of the indie stuff, just 'cause it's what I learned first. So
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I guess I've been playing drums for like 10 years. I started in middle school when I was like 12. I'm almost 22 now, so yeah. So, yeah, coming on 10 years of playing drums. My family's always been really music oriented. Like, my dad was in like a ska band playing trumpet and shit. So, yeah, I've always known like, yeah, I want to do music. And my school didn't have a really big arts program. Like we had a pep band that I played drums for, and it was like only 3 guys. Like it was me, a trumpet player, and a trombone player, and we were just ripping out there.
Classic.
Yeah, but yeah, I've always known I wanted to do music, and when I started college, I joined like a club where you play music for like elderly people. It's called musical therapy, and that's actually where I met Spencer.
Oh.
And then Spencer was like, "Hey, I've been jamming with these guys in the dorms. You want to come play? Like we're looking for a drummer, and everyone sucks." so that's how I met these guys, and it's been cool now. Yeah, indie wasn't really my background. My background was like weirdly like Latin drumming was like my thing. So like Latin and Afro-Cuban is like what I always learned.
Is that more like hand drumming?
No. So on the kit, you
Okay.
just
Yeah.
play a bembe, but around the kit. So yeah. So that was my background, and then I was like, indie, sure. And I still incorporate that into a lot of our songs. Like Asking for a Friend is like a bossa beat, you know. So
Yeah, I like bossa a lot.
Yeah, it's
Or I listen to this guy John Rosenborough, who's post bossa.
that's
I would
interesting.
check him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I didn't really start playing music until like high school. I was actually just like really into acting when I first got to high school, and like also sports. And from there, I was like doing musical theater a little bit, kind of experimenting with music for the first time, and then pretty much like sophomore year of my high school like, career, I guess. I started playing guitar because my friend was like, "I think you would like this." I was like, "You know what? I'll try it." And immediately I got really bored. I was like, "I don't want to learn songs. This is like really boring to me." So I decided I was gonna write my own songs, like right off the bat. And I was just like, "This is fun. I like writing songs." And then I just kept doing that, and then I like joined choir, just to get better at singing and stuff, so I could like, actually play the songs that I was writing. And then so then yeah, and then in high school I made a band with my friends. We were just like, "Yeah, we're gonna, be a band. We're gonna make it, man."
Yeah.
In high school, and then obviously college happened, and I moved from LA to like Nevada, so that band didn't work out. But yeah, then I met Spencer in the dorms, and I was like, "Sweet, let's just do it. Let's play some music. Let's write some songs." And ever since then, we have been. So pretty fun.
Yeah, I personally never thought I'd be a musician ever. I played trombone like James in middle school, and then in high school I just didn't like the band, so I quit trombone. And then my senior year, I just didn't have any friends, and my mom had a guitar, so like the last couple months of senior year, I was like, I'll learn guitar. And so I started playing a little bit, learned a little bit on the keys, and then I met Dan a couple months later, and then actually tried hard. So, like, compared to other musicians in the scene, I always feel like I'm not that good, but I'm definitely like good enough to play our stuff.
Hell yeah. I was wondering if you guys could talk about your creative process at all. Like, is there one person who like, do you guys all stick to your instrument, or like vocals is one like I don't.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
changed a lot over the years. Like at first, like the very first few months, I was like, I have all of these songs, and I want to hear what it sounds like with a band. And then from there, it kind of transformed more into like a collaborative nature. Like Spencer and I first started collabing together, like in terms of like writing lyrics and chords. Back when we first started the band, like that was just almost every time it was us two.
Mm-hmm.
And then just as we became closer, I started writing with Jarvis, and and then this year was really when we started writing as a
We've
group.
all been starting to write lyrics together as a
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
Because it literally used to be like I'd come with a full like verse, like whole thing, the whole song was like done, just like guitar and vocals, and then I'd be like, cool, so let's do it,
Yeah.
you know. But now it's like we decide things, we decide like progressions and various parts and lyrics together.
Yeah, it's funny. Like we all like demo stuff out. I know me and Dan especially. Well, we'd probably have like a couple gigabytes of just demos on our phone,
Seriously.
and we'll show it to each
Voice
other.
memos.
And yeah, I mean, a lot of the character from like the demos still stays, but we change like so much. It's very collaborative.
Yeah.
When we show each other the stuff, we're like, oh yeah, this part's really cool, and then we can go to this, and it's like, oh, I didn't really hear it that way, but now that you bring that up, it's pretty cool. You know, it's
Yeah.
like it just changes so much based on other people's input. It's kind of fun.
It definitely helps, like, to have the input of these guys every time we make a song, just because we'll be like, well, what kind of feel is it? What kind of, like, song do we want it to be like? And what are we trying to say every song? You know, we really want it to be,
We're putting a lot more thought
Yeah.
into songs.
yeah, well, like, we always put thought into songs. It's just now, as a group, we decide what the actual message is, harmonically and lyrically. Before it'd be like, I felt this one day, I wrote it, can you guys make it match that feeling, you know?
And it is really hard
Yeah,
to
it was
deliver
hard.
the feeling.
Because only one guy would know what it felt like, and it's like, oh, like,
No, I was sadder than that.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't understand.
But now we like actually have a dialogue. It's like, this,
Yeah, we
like, you know
kinda-
when it feels this way, you know?
Yeah,
So-
we like as a group will form the identity of a song more than like someone has the identity and has to like communicate that to the rest of
Yeah.
the guys. You know, like it's been nice to be able to like all be on the same page and then like write lyrics rather than like try and form something around a more abstract thing. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's been nice.
We've gotten better at songs. We wrote like 2 songs in a day, like last week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just on tour, you get some days off, you know, and we're like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what? We're musicians that are supposed to be writing songs, so probably we should
Maybe
write songs.
music, maybe
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's see. So you guys are saying that you start like with like an overall intention, like I want to make a song that feels like this, and you just kind of add things.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
We'll
like,
usually have like chords or something to go
Okay.
on.
yeah,
It
like
varies,
James is really
yeah.
good at like the music the music side of it, and then Dan's really good at the lyrical, like the poetry and things like that. So sometimes Dan will start with a poem, and we come up with music to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
But James will do the opposite, where he's like, I have these cool chords or this cool riff. Let's see if we can get some words to go with it. So it really depends who kind of
And I know
initiates
words.
the idea.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
really good at finding words that rhyme, bro.
That's actually really true.
Yeah.
Whenever we're
Yeah.
stuck on words, Jarvis is the man.
Yeah, I'd say like it's pretty early on, like whether it's like harmonically what the song invokes or lyrically, we like can find like the crux of it and then like really try and dig into that more. Like that's kind of what we've been trying to get better at. I think is like this is what the song is. Anything that's like we just cut the fat from it, like just make it like this, you know, first, and then add whatever else it needs. You know.
Yeah, I think it's like really important to us that the song is communicating a specific feeling or emotion, like, and if we all feel it, we're like, okay, and we're like okay with putting it out. We're like, hopefully, oh jeez, like hopefully, other people can feel that same feeling when they listen to our song too.
Right. Oh yeah. So do you guys ever like disagree as a group? Like how do you handle like any kind of internal?
Probably disagree with James every day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
What last week we were doing a song and we didn't know if we wanted the background to come in like on the same word or like afterwards, right? That was the thing.
and I mean, there's stuff that
And we were like James was like, I think it should come on the same word, and I was like, no, it should come after. And then we did it, and it's like, it sounds the same.
It doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter.
There's definitely like constant disagreements in like what direction a specific part of the song should go in, but the overall like arching idea of the song is like really well defined.
I feel like all of our ideas get put in eventually, but
Yeah.
So
they all find an amalgam at the
Yeah,
end.
and without the pushback, we always end up with bad songs. Like if you're quiet about your feelings or your thoughts about what a song needs, it's always worse than it would be if you actually said what you thought.
Yeah.
Because like we're all musicians, we all know what a good song sounds like. So if we have a genuine feeling that like this is bad or it needs this, it's usually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, we're all like, we all know that we want to make each other's songs as good as they can possibly be. So like, going into it with that, it's like
I'm gonna make James' song shit.
Well, it's like, it's not like the guys are like trying to tear your
We're
art
trying
down,
to make our whole thing better.
So yeah, it can be like, I don't know, especially when it's something that you like really liked in a song. They're just like, oh, it's not
I
quite
hate
what
that.
we're thinking. It's
Yeah.
like it can be a little bit of
It's
a
like,
bummer,
but that can go in another song. Like
Yeah.
that idea is cool.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just something. It's like it happens. You have to get over it. You can't like.
Yeah. Like I try to never throw anything away. Like if I really like it and connect with it, I'll just like leave it in the bank, you know. And if they didn't connect with it at that point, I'll bring it back up. Like
Connect with it
3
later.
months. Yeah, 3 months
Yeah.
later, I'm like, what if it fits in this realm?
Mhm.
You know, and then it normally does eventually. So.
I like you guys have like good back and forth energy, you know?
And we're buddies.
We've been trapped in a van with each other for a couple weeks
We
straight,
got a couple
so-
days off where we weren't in the van with each other, and now
That's true.
Yeah.
We have good rapport though.
yeah, no, we found it was really important to just be friends.
Yeah.
That was our biggest issue early on.
Yeah, like when we were first starting, like it was just like we would just go and play music with each other and then not hang out.
Yeah, it was
We just go
super
play
weird.
music, go home, go play music, go home. But then and it's just kind of like weird, and then it's like, oh, wait, we can actually hang out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're friends. Damn.
Yeah, I literally didn't even hang out with these guys until like last year, and we were playing music together for 3 years. So it was like I don't even know who these people are. We're just doing this.
It was a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely good to be friends with your band.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you guys are friends. I think that's really cool. Like I talk to some bands and they're like, you know, they just have. I like your guys' energy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You guys have
Thank
good
you,
energy.
thank you.
You guys play off each other well. Transition. Let's see. I was wondering if you guys have like a song, like just one by one, that's been stuck in your head lately, or like.
I'll let one of you guys go first. I have to think this one over.
Like our song or just any song?
It's probably-
Any song.
Ooh.
Well, after Trestles played it, fucking David Bowie.
Yeah, David Bowie. Yeah. What is this?
Moondream.
You know what's been stuck in my head
Daydream.
is Malibu by Lucy's.
Dude,
Ooh.
that's a great
Oh.
song. Do
It's
you know
like-
Lucy's? No, they do like dream bedroom pop. It's really chill, kind of synthy, really relaxed vocals.
Yeah.
But it's just so nice to listen to.
We played with them in Pomona, like
Fuck yeah.
6 months ago, and it was like really fun.
Yeah,
But,
Malibu by Lucy's.
yeah, that song's
definitely look
great.
that up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
we
a good
do.
one.
And I'd say probably it's like another pretty small band, but Wayward.
Oh
Pop.
yeah,
That song's been stuck in my head for probably like 3 months.
that's a good one too.
Yeah, actually, like I'm really into that song right now, and I have been. So,
Wayward by.
so it's Wayward is the band, and
Yeah,
Pop
Pop.
is the song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely try and check those
Underrated
out.
for sure.
Definitely underrated. Those guys are sick. I really
Yeah.
like vibe with their whole deal.
Yeah, I think like after the set I just watched tonight, my favorite song is the one you ended with. It was like
Take Me by the
"Take Me by the Hand."
Yeah, that one.
People have been very receptive to that.
That's
one.
the big hit now, man.
How do you guys feel about it? Like, do you guys
We
think
like
it should
it.
be your best song?
We all hate it.
Yeah, it's the
No,
best.
we're happy it's getting the recognition it deserves. Like it just got playlisted.
Yeah, I
Couple
think
weeks
it
ago.
like my favorite part of that song is like the structure. I think the structure of it is pretty unique and creative.
Yeah, we were writing it, and we're like, all right, the verse, the chorus. We're like, wait, which one's the verse? Is it like "Take Me by the Hand"
Yeah.
part is the verse, or like the staring at the ceiling part? No, we couldn't tell, and we're just like, they're both choruses. So.
And then it's just dancing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, you're dancing.
Yeah, so.
It's probably our hookiest song.
Yeah,
But there's
definitely our
also
the
poppiest
poppiest
song.
song,
Yeah.
A lot of
I like
like
it though.
a lot of different weird sections in it too, which gives it character, which is nice. It's
Yeah.
not just like Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
different sections. Like this is the
The
slow
breakdown
part.
with the
And then the
toms.
breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Is that you guys think your personal favorite song you guys made?
Mine is Toes. We did not play it tonight, but that's probably my favorite song of ours is Toes.
We wrote that one together.
It's very similar in To Take Me by the Hand in that there's like very distinct sections.
Yeah.
Like there's like the beachy section, and then it's like weird like breakdown.
The dreamy section.
Yeah, the dreamy section, and then it's like the hard section, and then it's back to the beach, and then it's over.
When we wrote that, we were like, let's just try to make this like as difficult as possible on
Yeah.
ourselves. Like,
Well,
so many
I don't know
sections,
if you've
man.
ever heard the band Early Eyes.
No.
I had just like found them
Okay.
like a couple weeks before we like wrote that song, and I was like, I want to make a song like these guys,
yeah, and they do a lot of like rhythmic like
Yeah.
like cool rhythmic stuff.
stuff,
So
and we're like, let's add rhythmic like outros to sections, and like
Mhm.
let's just try to make it like interesting
the
rhythmically
whole time. Yeah.
So it is pretty fun. It's really difficult for me to play and sing.
It's really hard.
Yeah, the rhythm
But
guitar
it's really
part
fun.
is like
My part's pretty easy.
insane.
Yeah, like my part when I wrote it, I'm like, this
My
is
part's
so
hard, too.
sick. But yeah, like me and him like have to be in the pocket,
Which is
or else it's just like all over the place.
it's not the move for tonight when we couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
With the two monitors.
So you guys decide what to play based on the venue and like.
Definitely.
Sometimes
Definitely the
Yeah.
vibe, more like the vibe of the crowd.
That's awesome. You don't even go in with a set like.
It
this.
depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like if it's like we're opening for a bigger group and we know we have to play for like 30 minutes and it's like we got to get off the stage in like 5. Then we write it out. We try to like engage the audience as much as possible.
Do
but
transitions if it's that kind of gig.
yeah,
Mhm.
but like for stuff like tonight or
Yeah, stuff like tonight is just like.
we just kind of go up there and we're like, what does it seem like, you know? And we
Like
just,
tonight was definitely like, let's get moving.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone was sitting down, but like Trestles is really dancey, so we needed the crowd to be standing before they played, so that
Yeah.
they could have a fun time too.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Got to warm up the audience for
Yeah.
whoever's after you.
That's your job.
But I'm like, I have a couple of like side questions.
Go for it.
I'm trying to think if there's. Do you guys have any like interesting stories from like tour? Like any like weird mishaps?
Oh, there's
like,
too many, bro.
I have a good one that James will hate.
Oh, you want to tell that one?
We need permission first.
Yeah,
Yay or
that's
nay,
okay.
James? Yay?
It's public information.
Alright, do you want to tell it?
Yeah, you want to tell it?
All right. Well,
First day of tour.
it was the first day. Well, technically, we were supposed to play a Reno show. That got canceled. Van Sire got sick, so we drove to Spring Creek, which is where Spencer's family's from. And then the next day, we drove from Spring Creek to Salt Lake City. We were playing the Beehive, and we got there a little early, played some frisbee. When it was time to pull the van around to load in, we're like, where do you want us to load in from? And they're like, oh, we got this alley out back. And we take a look, and it looks pretty narrow. And we're like, it's gonna be kind of
Like,
tough.
I don't know.
This is gonna be a little rough parking job. And I'd been driving all day too, and I was like, I got this.
I got it.
And there's a car parked in a weird spot, and anyway, it was like it's a long, narrow alley, and then opens up into like a box shape, right? And there was just this corner on the left that we had to take to be able to like get enough room to even get the base cab around the van. It was that tight. And what I didn't see was there was a dip, right, as you take the left. Totally, as soon as I took that left, van on the side of the wall, and we're like, oh no. And we were like stuck a little bit. Dan's like, oh, well, first of all, Dan told me not to do it.
I was like, yeah, you're not gonna make it, man. Like,
Well,
don't do it. Don't do it.
You have to understand, I thought he was talking like, dude, that's gonna be a pain to back out of that spot. I didn't realize he's like, dude, you didn't scratch the van. So I scratched the van. It was not the worst of it. He's like, all right, we gotta back up, I guess.
Yeah, because there was no way to go forward.
Yeah, so turned the wheel, backed up, and then we hear, and then look back, and the window's shattered.
And you backed into the other wall.
I did.
Yeah, you backed into the other brick wall.
I deny that.
You can see the brick on the van.
So not the greatest driving I've ever done in my career driving to.
Yeah, so we had a shattered window for like 3 days.
Taped it up. We wrote
Yeah.
on it like.
It's
to make
pretty
the
expert
tree.
duct tape though. It looked
Yeah,
Yeah.
we duct taped it nice. I drew on it in Sharpie. It looked like loaded diaper kind of.
Oh yeah.
Diary would be kid.
Yeah, very embarrassing. We smashed the band before we even played a note on tour. I picked up my bass in like 2 days. I'm like, how am I gonna play a show? I just scratched the band. I don't know how we're getting the Logan
We
tomorrow.
honestly killed that show. Though.
Yeah,
That was,
yeah,
that was
played
a bunch
super
of
well.
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
killed that show.
So
That was a good
we
one.
played a good set. Sold quite a bit of merch, which was nice. And then we were just like, oh man.
Now we gotta get to the window fix.
So,
That
and
was-
it took a while. We were calling, before the show, I was calling like all the different window places in Salt Lake City. Most of them were closed because our load-in time was the exact time that all these places closed, of course. But then like I think 2 days later, right before we had to head to Vegas, we got a sweet deal. I don't remember what the guy's name was, but if you're in
Yeah.
Salt Lake,
Good guy.
There's a
good
guy.
There's a
Yeah.
guy. He'll do it real cheap, and he's good.
He doesn't market, but he's great.
Yeah.
We had to help put the window in, but
There's one guy.
so that,
Always help you out.
that was my embarrassment for the tour. No one else did anything nearly as embarrassing. So,
Yeah, that was fun. First day.
Since then, just been smooth sailing.
Downhill.
Downhill.
No, it's been
Now we've
definitely
had
a lot more chill than that. That first
yeah,
day
we
was
kind of the tour like progression wise. We were like Van Sire, oh, it got canceled. And then we're like, oh, we're in Salt Lake City, it's gonna be awesome. And then crash the
Broke
van.
the window.
And then the rest of the tour was just like a little like
yeah.
Slowly
gradual
got
growth.
better.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
good, good. Oh.
Arizona, pretty rough.
Oh yeah.
We were
Arizona.
talking about like at that first part of the tour, like there's gonna be crazy highs and lows, I guess, this whole tour. Cause like our first day, like Van Sire is one of his favorite bands.
It's my
Yeah.
actual
Like,
favorite band.
and we were opening for them. We're like, dude, this is gonna be so sick. And we're like, we're all really excited because like I love them, like we all love that group. And then we
Wait,
just see if
Van
those
Size?
Van
Van
Sire.
Van Sire. S-I-R-E.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, and we just love that group. But they like post a picture of like trees, and they're like,
We're sick.
we're sick. Yeah,
I
just
saw
come do the
okay.
illness.
We went out to eat pizza before the show. I saw Dan like scroll past it, like looked at it on his Instagram, like, oh, I wonder what the caption was. I was just excited because we were playing with them. I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
I looked. I'm like, hey Dan, you know that picture you just scrolled past? You should read the caption. And he's like, oh no.
Yeah, and it was like 2 hours before we were supposed to load in. Too.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was right before the show. Huge disappointment.
It's good though.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Builds character.
Highs and lows.
Yeah, that's the thing about touring, man. You gotta,
Like when we got to Arizona, like we get out of the, we were like looking through, we're in the van all day, AC, right?
We get
So
to
it's
Phoenix.
perfect. We get to Phoenix, it looks a little cloudy. We're like, oh, it might be nice out. It's 108.
And it
Yeah.
was raining.
And then it starts raining.
Oh,
because
yeah.
We got there right the first monsoon.
Of the
And
year.
it's just huge raindrops just pelting us. We're like, oh my god.
We were
Yeah,
walking
it was like
out-
a sauna, bro. It was so hot and like just wet.
Yeah, it was hot, and then you were getting hit with like rain bullets.
We were walking around and right before it started to like monsoon, and James was like, "Kind of hurts out here."
Arizona hurts.
Arizona does hurt. Yeah.
So are you guys all still in school at Reno?
Not me. I graduated. I'm a biochemist.
Whoa.
I hate that we start with Travis. I
Yeah.
dropped out.
You know, indie legend, biochemist.
Yeah, I got off the train when COVID was a big thing because they were online and raised tuition. I was like, I'm not about that. So
Said too much.
Drop out.
Yeah.
I'll go back one day once
We're
this
both
dries up.
in school.
Yeah,
still.
we're both still in school.
I'm on my last semester.
Oh, okay.
Got only PE electives, so
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Should be good.
Yeah. I should graduate. We'll see.
You might pass. Jerry's still out.
Might pass PE.
No, yeah, I'll be chilling. And you got a little
Yeah,
time.
I'm studying biomedical engineering,
Ooh.
and I still have 2 semesters, and it's gonna be rough. But luckily, we won't be playing as many shows during the school year, so focus on school. Focus
You guys
on
are
work.
all planning on staying in Reno and staying together and jamming.
At least for now.
Yeah,
We'll probably leave Reno in a year or 2, or
Depends with
yeah.
Dan's school.
We don't really.
Yeah, because
He's
I'm
a big time
studying.
lawyer.
Ooh.
No, I just took the LSAT and like where, I have a year until I have to go to law school, if nothing like happens with the band,
So if you like our music, you better keep
Yeah,
streaming
go
it.
stream it, or
Unless
else
you want him
else
to
I
sue
have to
you.
be a lawyer.
He has to be a lawyer.
Yeah, it'll be your fault.
Yeah. If you're come on.
We can see who's watching right now.
No, but even if that happens, like I'll probably be in the Bay Area, and
Yeah.
we will be
Sure,
able
we'll
to
probably
play
be.
still. So, like,
We're not stopping anytime soon.
yeah, no, we're gonna play still. So,
Yeah, I'm already commuting like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Trying to move back up to Reno. So we'll see how that goes. That'll make it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you guys staying together. I always just like run out of things to say for like 5 seconds. But I like to ask people. I guess it can be like a joint and individual question. But like, have any of you guys ever had like a spiritual experience of any kind? And you could just you could answer that like however it means to you. It's like
I actually had a pretty weird experience once. One time I was like in Washington D.C. with my brother, and we were just talking about music, like, cause he's a musician too. He's called Sunday Orange. You can check that out. But we were just talking about music, and we're like, yeah, like, it's crazy how like, you know, harmony can really make you like feel an emotion. And we're just talking about like how lyrics, you know, intertwine with the harmony and just that kind of general thing. But then he was talking to me about like how he had a dream where he died, and then he said he went to heaven, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty weird. And then I was like, dude, what if you actually like died in that moment and did go to heaven or something, you know? And then he like flipped out, and he went like this, like his chest like came up. It was so scary.
Wait, like in person?
In person. We were sleeping in the same bed because, you know, we're just like fucking in a hotel.
You're fucking in a hotel?
No, we were just in a hotel, but like he just did that, and like, yeah, great time for a joke. But yeah, he did that, and we were just freaked out. I remember like being like, wow, it was like so scary because he just like lost control.
Sure, he wasn't fucking with you.
Dude, he was like almost crying after.
Tomas is a really serious person.
Yeah. He definitely wasn't messing with
I
me.
would have pranked you.
That's interesting. My
Yeah.
little brother George.
Yeah.
So my brother George was born with like a really severe heart condition, and he's had 2 open heart surgeries. So they like open your chest, and they actually like stop your heart and operate on your heart and put it back.
shit.
And so he was clinically dead for a period of time, and he said that he has like memories from the time that he was dead, that he was like above the table and like talking to like our grandma that died like the year before. Like that's not my experience,
Yeah.
but like pretty interesting.
It's,
Mhm.
Yeah, I definitely believe that like there like your family lives in spirits and like is there, you know.
One time I did shrooms and I watched Pixar movies. The TV was like a 5K TV. I didn't like it. You could see like every hair on their body. Will not watch a Pixar movie. Anyway.
They don't have hair on their body.
No, dude, I swear. You could. It was when Turning Red came out.
Turning Red's really good.
I love that
Yeah.
movie. But yeah, it was like an 8K TV. It's too high resolution. You see like her arm hair. I was like, nah.
I'm out of here.
That's my spiritual experience.
Jeez.
I don't know. It's kind of underwhelming to go last because I haven't really had anything like bonkers. Yeah.
Well, you hit your head and forgot like the last 3 months of your life.
That was pretty wild.
That's crazy.
But that I don't know.
Not really like spirit.
Nah, I wouldn't call it spiritual.
Same with like the Pixar movie though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had anything like that.
As
That
far
was
as like
definitely
something that messes with like your worldview, that was definitely a big thing. Cause it was like right when COVID really kicked off, like smashed my head, and like
What were you doing at the time?
mountain biking
Okay.
by myself. I got airlifted to Sutter trauma, and yeah, I just like totally forgot like months out of my life. It was pretty wild, and just like readjusting to that. Like I'd broken up with my girlfriend at the time, and I did
During
not.
those 3 months.
Yeah, in the gap, so I
What
didn't
the
remember that, and like dealing with that and not having like closure was like tough. And that's probably like, I don't know, just like dealing with that is probably why I went to like music to deal with it. I don't know, it was like a healthy outlet, I guess. So yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean that's
not really spiritual,
It's
but
powerful though. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Crazy.
Like, I mean, the girlfriend thing is like that's pretty big. And then
it was rough.
yeah,
A couple months
I
there.
can imagine. Like, and people are like just telling you things you did. And you're like,
Yeah, like dude, you
did it like fit with like
You were a dick to me.
I
Dude, you owe
mean-
me $2,000.
I mean, okay, well, like COVID was a pretty pivotal time for everyone too. It was like right when like I literally forgot like from the beginning of that to like when it hit my hands.
Yeah.
I changed like a lot, you know.
Really?
Yeah. So
Shit.
just kind of refining myself, I guess. It was a trip.
You didn't get into music till after that.
Not deeply. I didn't really get into writing. songs. I did write a few songs before, like in that gap
Mhm.
that I listened to after that I had no recollection of ever writing.
Was it cool or was it like jarring?
It was pretty jarring, to be honest, and I like really hated the stuff for a while. So I was like, I don't know. I still like feel a little uneasy about a lot of that stuff. So it's like, yeah, that's the kind of stuff's kind of hard to show the guys when they're trying to like crack my shell when it comes to that. So,
Mhm.
but yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't have to show us your age. Yeah.
I think I had a question. It just like. So you guys have been together 4 years, not stopping anytime soon. You guys are killing it. It's fucking sick. Oh, do you guys always find yourself listening to the same kind of music that you make, or you guys have very varied music tastes?
I'd say we have very
Yeah.
like different music tastes. Like I never listened. I didn't even know indie music existed until I met Dan. Like, like I just listened to whatever was on the radio. I never even like explored music at all. The only music I listened to that wasn't on the radio was like jazz, like Chick Corea.
Chick Corea.
I don't know if you know him, but
No.
he's like the jazz piano master since like 1985.
Okay.
Man's a legend. Anyway, that was like the only thing I listened to outside of just like regular old pop music. But then like now I listen to mostly like folky
Mhm.
music. Like Camp is a big folk artist that a lot of people know.
Camp.
Yep, CAAMP.
Oh, two
So
A's.
Camp with 2 A's.
Okay.
Anyway, I like folk music.
Yeah, I definitely listen to indie music a lot, but I didn't really start diving into the genre until the last few years when we really started getting into producing our music because I wanted to like get the sound right of everything. There's just a lot of ways to produce songs, and since I have been primarily producing all of our music, it's just I wanted to like really know what it sounds like and then make it our own. But in high school, I was like pretty into musical theater because that's like what I did. And I liked jazz a lot, just like Miles Davis, kind of classic.
Do you have any favorite like musicals?
Yeah. Let's see. I'd say
High School Musical 3.
yeah, High School Musical 3.
Number one.
No, Newsies is pretty sick.
This is classic.
Yeah, it's just classic, and I liked like the coming of age element of it because when I watched it, I was in high school and it really like struck me in a good way. But yeah, I wouldn't say that that's like what I primarily listen to anymore or anything, but it definitely impacted how I do things still. So
Oh yeah.
I was always a big alt guy.
Alt.
Yeah, listened to Radiohead a lot, big Radiohead guy.
Yeah,
That's what got me and Dan going at first. Cause like in high school, like I was the only person who listened to like Radiohead. I couldn't talk to anyone about it. But then I went to college. I was like, you actually know what Radiohead is?
Yeah, no,
I was like, okay, computer.
because I like loved Radiohead, especially like senior year of high school coming into college, and I remember talking to Hit Jarvis about it, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, my dad used to put me to sleep as a baby." to
Kid A, yeah.
Yeah, we're like, "Oh my god."
My dad was a big Radiohead guy.
So that's,
Yeah.
if you don't know, that album's like pretty chill at first with like everything in its right place.
Gets kind of heavy though.
Immediately,
And then it gets pretty
like
heavy.
the next song, it's like already like kind of aggressive, and it's like he was sleeping with that as a kid.
Dude, knocked me out. It still does. Literally, if I'm ever having trouble sleeping, put on Kid A.
Don't put it on in the car.
Yeah, you can't put it on in the car because I'll be out. No, big alt guy. Yeah, I also really like Modest Mouse.
Mm.
I went and saw them live like a couple months ago. It was really cool. And then like, but it's not all that stuff. I also like the folky stuff too. Like Dr. Dog. Big fan of Dr. Dog. Like he's like the drummer for Dr. Dog. Eric Slick is like one of my like, drumming
Oh, sick.
inspirations. So.
Hell yeah. Quick side, have you seen the music video? It's not the whale song, it's King Rat.
Yeah.
It's directed by Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
Really?
that's crazy.
Fucking
Yeah, it's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, that music video is crazy.
It's so good though.
Yeah, it's good.
I love that shit. Alright, how about you?
I mean, when I really started getting into music, I mean, Beatles is obviously
Beatles.
a
Yeah.
massive
Yeah, everyone
influence.
listens to the
Everyone
Beatles.
listens.
Yeah.
And then like, I guess from them I kind of went like Dylan route of like folk stuff, and I think I discovered like Dr. Dog around that time too. Those guys are sick. And then like, I don't know. There's like something about like coming of age like angst that makes you want to like listen to like garage rock kind of stuff, and I was like really into that for a long time. Still really love those songs.
Yeah, you've showed us a lot of garage rock that I just never listened to before.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
I mean that's such a vague genre, but yeah, like that kind of thing. Yeah, I try to have a pretty diverse musical taste, and my little brother Matthew has like a crazy like taste. Both my brothers actually like introduced me to so many like great bands, so it's just been I've been lucky to have like brothers that'll turn me on to like really sick stuff. So yeah.
Hell yeah. I wanted to ask, are you guys all comfortable with like your roles in the band? Are you guys trying to explore like new instruments, new angles at all?
I like drums. I've been trying to learn guitar more, but I'm not that great. I've been writing silly songs.
Dude, he's got a solo project.
Yeah, it's on SoundCloud.
What's it like?
It's called Shower Poopers.
Shower.
Yeah, I did it with my sister. It's just like silly songs. I did like an Olivia Rodrigo parody.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just like funny. The whole goal of it, it's like I want to make a song as quick as I can with like the worst tools. So they're all like GarageBand on like an iPad, and just like this tiny like little microphone.
That thing is so funny. It's like
Yeah.
an inch tall.
Yeah,
It's comedic.
So like
Yeah.
the whole point is it's like I do it all in a night, and then I just delete like anything I had on my phone about it, and then it's just on the internet.
Nice. Yeah, can't take it back.
Yeah, it's just there.
The name just like immediately evokes emotion. You know?
Yeah,
It's-
it is.
What kind of emotion?
Positives, I
It's
think.
up to interpretation. You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
It's releasing.
Yeah.
No, that's just for fun though. I like playing drums.
I actually started the group on keys, and Spencer started on keys as well.
Yeah.
And we both moved, like, well, I've moved to bass because our old bass player up and left us. It's okay though, forgive me. and Spencer's just been playing a lot more guitar. He's gotten like really great at it.
Yeah,
But,
I've definitely improved a little.
yeah. But yeah, I've tried to be like pretty well rounded as far as multi-instrumentals goes. So
Yeah. How
a
about
little
the
bit of
rest?
guitar.
I just like playing music, you know. I play most instruments. I haven't really gotten to like fretless stringed instruments like a violin or anything. I've tried a little bit. My wife Haley is like a phenomenal violin player, so I tried to have her teach me. I'm just like not that good, and it's also really loud. The violin is so loud, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Such a loud instrument. But yeah, I gave that a little effort, but I've mostly been sticking with traditional instruments that are a little easier to learn. Like I already knew guitar, so I was like, oh, I'll learn the banjo, you know. And like my mom was a drummer, so my mom taught me little drums. So sometimes I'll mess around on that. Yeah, I like a little variety.
Hell yeah. How long have you been married for?
A year and a half.
Wow, that's crazy. Good for you, man.
Thanks.
Sick.
We're married to the grind.
Yeah, I just mostly play guitar, and vocals, which I'm definitely chill with. I write like synth leads. They're not very hard, but like they're just like if I think it sounds cool, like we'll keep it in. Like
Yeah.
there's definitely most of the synth lead parts.
Yeah, like we know our way around a piano. Not
Yeah.
to make stuff.
Yeah, like I did choir, you know, I know chord structures and like what leading lines are. So like
Working
and
knowledge.
yeah, exactly. Working knowledge. I'm not like a genius on
Yeah,
piano by any means.
I don't think any of us have ever like really studied any of our. I
Yeah.
guess Jarvis has.
Yeah.
I took
Jarvis
private
is our
lessons
most
and stuff.
classically trained guy for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I just kinda-
I took the private lessons and everything.
I really just kind of picked up like keys and guitar and stuff.
I'm only trained well on rhythm stuff and drums, not on harmony or anything. So I've had to pick all that up from these guys.
Yeah.
Technique wise, I could be totally off, but it sounds good enough.
Yeah, when Flea comes up to you, it's like you're hurting. It's awful.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace to
You're a
bass.
disgrace to bass. bro. See how you're holding your hand? Get rid of it.
Do you guys have any like advice for anybody who's aspiring to like start music for the first time or join a band or create a band?
Don't crash your van; you'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah, I think just like if it feels good, it doesn't really matter how it sounds, you know? Like if it invokes an emotion, it doesn't matter if it's objectively good music. That's the way I feel about it, you know? Like some of the groups like we heard tonight, like a lot of people might not enjoy that sound very much, but it definitely invokes an emotion. Like that's the whole point of music, is to like share your emotions with people and let people interpret your music and feel their emotions, you know? So like don't let your ability feel like it's a reason to not play music, you know, especially if you're just starting. Sometimes it's intimidating to be around other musicians.
Yeah, I would say just keep playing. I always say this, but like I remember when I first started playing, and ever since I started writing songs, I was like, this could be sick, just to like play in front of people and you know just continue to do this for like an extended period of time. And I always wanted to like go on tour or something, and I didn't really believe that I could. And then I just kept doing it, and then it just kind of kept working because we just you know we just kept pushing as hard as we could until something worked, you know. And I think that's really just the persistence and just having the drive. Like if you have the drive and you have the will to like put something out, there's a reason, you know, that has to come out. Like other people need to hear it. It's like it's not just for you. It's you have to put it out, you know. And I truly believe that. So like just me being motivated to continue playing. And if like anyone else feels that way, you should. You know, don't let other things stop you. Like work, you know, go to school, but also play music. So that's probably mine.
I guess I'd say, like, if you're really just starting out, like, get really good at the basics. Like, nail, like, roots if you're playing bass. Like, just get really good at the basics, and then, you know, stay within your bounds and play what you can. Like, we see a lot of groups.
Yeah.
That just, like, are playing stuff that they have not worked up yet. And you'll be able to communicate a lot more effectively to an audience if you can play like within your bounds and like really have control over what you're playing rather than just like going.
It's like I'm trying this crazy lick.
Yeah. So
Which it's good to like try to step out of your boundaries
in rehearsal.
No, but yeah. And I think I said it before, but I think the most important thing is having bandmates who are your friends. Because if you're not friends and you can't communicate, then it's just not gonna work.
Becomes pretty hostile. That's kind of yeah. Like when you can't communicate or someone refuses to communicate, it becomes very obvious that someone's uncomfortable, and then it's like, oh, they don't really like that song, and then we're playing that song that one guy in the group doesn't like, and it's like,
You feel that.
yeah, everyone feels it when you're playing it, and then
And the audience will feel it.
the
too.
audience feels it too. It's like everyone knows when someone in the band is just like not having it. So like
So, yeah, communication for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I think we'll wrap it up a little bit. Can you just do like names and like the instruments one more time?
Yeah. James, bass player.
Jarvis, drummer.
Daniel, vocals and guitar.
Spencer, keys and guitar.
And you guys are Flamingos?
Flamingos in the tree.
In the trees.
Multiple flamingos, one tree.
Alright.
Just one tree.
I'm Tyler. This has been BSnBanter. Second biggest, second best live podcast. Thanks for coming.
Alright.
Yeah, thanks for
See
having
you guys.
Bye, Twitch.
I like to do handshakes, just
Oh yeah, definitely.
a little seal.